They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? The only podcast to watch short-sighted movies and make little mistakes by horribly offending an entire group of people in one fell swoop. And we call it Why Would You Make This? I'm Jimmy Time. I'm joined, as usual, by my co-host, Danny Money. How are you, sir?
I'm alright, and yourself?
Could be better, I guess. Jay Delta?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I'm
How?
doing-
How after this movie?
I'm
How did this
doing-
movie not break your heart?
This movie is fucking bizarre.
If anything, it's confusing, especially the ending.
It's really confusing.
Everything about it is weird.
It's like I totally thought the movie was going a different way at every point in the movie. I was like, oh, it's going. No, it's not. All right, well then, nope, that's not.
Oh, I wasn't even sure the movie ended when it ended, because all of a sudden, I just thought it was like one of those, black, dark screen into the next phase, then it went dark screen, credits. I was like,
You have it
what
right.
the fuck?
You have a right to think that because, I think the last 4 scenes in the movie flash forward a couple of months.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So you're like, no, you're gonna flash forward now because that's not something you should end on.
No,
That's like and next time on Tiptoes. That was the ending they gave us. All right, so let's go ahead. Well, of course, this film was lost in translation. France called it the original name, which was Tiny Tiptoes. Finland and Brazil kind of had the same name, which was Finland had On Tiptoes and Brazil had On Forward Foot, or I guess on the point of your feet, which are your tiptoes, Next, Hungary, they started the crazy train and called this film Little Devils.
I mean, to be fair, all the shitty people in this movie are little people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much the whole cast is little people, except for just the main characters, but all the...
Oh, also, David Alan Grier.
Yeah.
I just want to say, when David Alan Grier popped up, I was legit like, oh shit, that's David Alan Grier! What?
Poland, they continued going crazy with it. They call the film Small is Beautiful, but if you take the words that it translated to Small is Beautiful, it translates to Men Are Beautiful Women.
All right, then.
All right.
That's what Poland thinks. They're really into trannies over there.
Hey, Poland is a safe space, so they're cool with that.
Okay. I mean, they're not, but
No, they're
historically speaking, they are. And finally, Russia, they called the film Little Fingers.
Which is technically correct.
Yeah.
Little sausage fingers.
Yeah. I think the word was actually like little limbs, because it was like, the film is Little Toes or Little Fingers. I was like, that can't be both.
Yeah.
There's no way that's right. So I assume because nothing about it is right, it didn't make a lot of money. You couldn't find anything because it was actually a straight-to-DVD release.
Exactly.
So,
really?
yeah.
Oh.
It technically it was a Tribeca Film Festival masterpiece, and then they DVD.
It doesn't surprise me that it's straight to DVD just because it's so fucking god awful, but it does because it stars Gary Oldman and Matthew McConaughey. Like that.
Yeah, it kind of it does star Matthew McConaughey, but they really don't make it seem like it does.
Gary Oldman gets top billing.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I feel like it's focused on Matthew McConaughey, but then at some point it kind of fuck you.
Well, they're twins.
There was a lot of...
So it's the same guy.
There was a lot of that going on, because even, Patricia Arquette's whole thing was just like, why is she even in this movie?
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the story at all.
I know, it's a lot like that. I mean, we already listed a bunch of names, so let's go ahead and jump into our favorite hour.
Yeah.
The Troy McClure Hour.
Have you ever wondered why fat parents have fat children? Or why Chinese parents have Chinese children? It's no coincidence. It's because of DNA. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such medical films as Alice Doesn't Live Anymore and Mommy, What's Wrong with That Man's Face?
But Mr. McClure, what is DNA?
What the? Oh, hi, Billy. Let's find out together.
So Gary Oldman plays Rolf, not a Muppet, by the way. Oh, maybe he is a Muppet. I don't know.
I was going to say, well, he did look like a Muppet.
He looked like a science experiment. He looked like the most unfortunate dwarf I've ever seen.
See, here's the thing. I will give this movie props for special effects because, like, there are times where it's like Gary Oldman.
Those were all real little people. Gary Oldman was the only one who was in.
No, I understand. I get that.
Oh, okay,
right?
all right.
But like, there are times where like it's little Gary Oldman, and I'm like, wow, like they fucking like hobbitized him well. Like they did some straight Peter Jackson.
See,
shit.
because I believe the exact opposite.
Yeah, no.
Every scene I go, how does anyone believe that's his torso and his arms are obviously average human size.
Yeah.
Okay, but then how did they like? Was he literally just walking around on his knees?
Yeah, that's why he
Yes.
had the cane to
Dude.
help balance up himself
Really?
out.
I
as he
know.
walked.
I'm sure you don't ever want to watch this again, but go back and watch, and you're gonna realize that nobody will understand this, but he walks like Mr. Filio.
No,
As a teacher, we went to that.
No, look,
but he
I
walks.
get-
He has a crooked back,
I-
and he puts his elbows back, so it seems like he has shorter arms. But he's wearing he has your like blazer on. He didn't
Yeah.
get a special like little person. He has a regular. He was like, I just use my wardrobe. It's fine.
wow.
Yeah, you even notice it at the end of the movie with the screen door. It hits his legs as he's walking in,
Oh,
and it
shit.
continues to hit his legs.
Oh, fuck.
It didn't. The biggest thing that warped my perspective entirely was when the parents meet.
Yeah.
And Ralph's behind the bar.
He's full size.
Yeah, he has to be. He has to be. When I saw that, my immediate thought was, well, everything seems normal there. Oh no, he's a midget. He must be sitting on a stool, and that's an average sized bar. And then later on, Kate Beckinsale walks over to it, does a full squat to get eye level, and I go, what's happening? This is like one of those weird rooms where it's on an angle, so you walk 2 feet that way, and you're taller and smaller, and I'm what's going on? Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we didn't even finish the Troy McClure hour, unfortunately. Gary Oldman's famous for playing roles such as James Gordon in the 2005 Batman trilogy, Jean Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg in The Fifth Element, and most recently Lord Vortek in the video game Lego Dimensions. Kate Beckinsale plays Carol. You may remember her from such roles as Selena in the Underworld franchise, Ava Gardner in The Aviator, and most recently, Dana in The Disappointments Room.
Nope.
No, well, I mean, the Underworld.
Yeah, I know that.
They're making a fifth one.
I didn't even know there was 4.
Yeah, me either.
They just keep making them. and
Yeah.
apparently
Maybe there's
people
only
watch
2.
them.
Yeah, I thought there was 2 as well. No, they're making a fifth. And finally, Matthew McConaughey plays Stephen Bedalia. You may remember him from such roles as Ron Woodruff in Dallas Buyers Club.
His name was Woodroof.
Yeah, Ron Woodruff. That's what it said.
Come on.
Cooper in Interstellar, and most recently, Arthur Brennan in The Son of Trees. Oh, I think that's actually The Sea of Trees. I think I wrote that down wrong. You can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com and figure out what that movie is if you care. Okay, film.
No. Let's just not.
Yeah, no, it's a wacky one.
So, all right, before we jump in, how in all good conscience does Gary Oldman get on his knees and just hobble around with little people and is like, look, motherfuckers, I get top billing as a little person.
Not even
Suck my dick.
Not even that. Why does he have a hump?
That's what I couldn't figure out.
I
either.
guess.
I thought it was like maybe he was bending his knees and they had like some attachment to make his legs bend up a little bit and they were trying to...
Wow!
Listen, I was trying to think out of the box.
Wow, you went down the road and shit away from the box.
they only fucking, like a cartoon, just bent them backwards in half. Is that what you think?
Exactly.
Just a quick, oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
See,
completely in half.
now,
that's
now
tight.
it makes sense though, because you're saying like his elbows are back or whatever.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like, well, how do we hide the elbows? Oh, we'll just give him like a hunchback.
No,
and
he
he's
just puts his elbow and he just puts his shoulders down and elbows back. You can, it's
Yeah,
all right
if you
there to
look at the
see.
scenes that he's in, he's always holding the can, and the other hand is always in his pocket.
He's always jerking with the left.
How does it not? What the movie opens and they're driving motorcycles, so you wouldn't notice if they open. But then we go to the studio apartment, and a woman she's painting, and Matthew McConaughey comes in, and I want to make it clear, she antagonizes him, then accuses him of cheating, and then tries to suck his dick.
Yeah.
Immediately, this scene, I was like, oh, I get it. This is the crazy girlfriend he has before he meets like the hot girlfriend and settles down. And it's like, oh, I love you, but the babe, it could be the no. He's with her the whole way through. I don't know why. But then we go back to the desert, and this is, I don't understand how you don't notice it, because Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage are standing next to each other. How do you not notice the torso difference?
No, I noticed that, but like, I don't know, because there's some like, how do I say this politically correctly?
I wrote it down. Yeah, no, the weird, I mean, I know it's not nice to say the weirdest, but I mean, midgetitis, or it's not midgetitis, whoops. Dwarfism. Yeah, dwarfism, basically, it's just, from what I mean, I haven't looked it up in a long time, but I think it's basically is certain parts of you stop growing.
Yeah,
and the other parts keep growing.
Like I've seen like dwarves or whatever, where it's like
when you say it like that, it seems offensive.
I seen them dwarves around here. I've seen dwarves like in fucking movies or whatever, where you're like, oh, he's shaped wrong. Like, you know, it's like he's standing in a wacky mirror because part of him's too long.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, if we just come out and say it, usually with dwarves, they have the normal size hands or head.
Yeah,
that's usually, from my experience, if we take a grand, like a census, that's probably what you'd see the most.
Yo, in one of the fucking scenes with the dwarf parties, because there are multiple dwarf parties in this film.
Yeah.
In one of the scenes, there's just like a background dwarf who has literally the tiniest head in the universe. And it's hysterical.
Are you sure it's not his father the whole movie?
I mean, it might have been.
He
has a really tiny, like, he was just walking sideways, and I was like, that's just like a body with a baseball on it. Like, it was so fucking...
Yeah. Diseases are crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's that new disease, like
the Zika virus.
Where it literally just gives you like fucking Beetlejuice shrunken head.
Apparently, that's just one of the symptoms of, or like one of it's apparently that's not the Zika virus. That's just one of the things that the Zika virus can give you, which is like microphilial or something.
Yeah.
It's
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's really weird. Science is, like I said, diseases are fucking weird. They're peeing on the side of the road, taking a break from motorcycling, Gary Oldman and Peter Dinklage, and a bus just kicks Patricia Arquette off of it for some reason. I presume because she was trying to blow somebody or something like that.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage stops and picks her up, and she seems to be mildly horrified by everything. The motorcycles, them stopping, the fact that they're little people, the fact that he's French, just all of it. She seems to be very confused. We jump to a banquet somewhere. This is apparently where Matthew McConaughey had to go, and he couldn't get his dick sucked. His name is Steven, by the way, and he goes to a banquet specifically for little people. The event is emceed by David Allen Greer.
Yeah.
Or what's his name? Jerry Robbins Jr.
Yeah. Jerry Robbins Jr. Like, he's supposed to be like one of these like TV preacher guys, I assume.
Is he?
I don't
thought
know.
He's supposed to be like a little Richie knockoff.
You know what it is? It's the hair and the suit. I just assume he's like one of these guys who shows up. He's not like a real preacher, but like one of these TV, like flashy.
Just an evangelist.
And, you know, he's black, so he's got style, so.
Racist?
No.
No, it's not. It's just the way that he said black. That's the correct word, but it's just the way you say it. It's like, yes, they are in fact the Jews, but when you say the Jews, it's, come on, man. Yeah. All right. So Everyone is interacting
Oh,
in the banquet.
speaking of Jews.
Nope.
Matthew McConaughey was like a self-hating Jew in this book.
I was reading, because, clicking around Wikipedia or whatever, I was reading, and apparently this movie was made when, like, Gary Oldman was in, like, a lot of shit for, like, a drunk driving incident. Oh. But then I was reading something online where he, like, defended Mel Gibson for, like, Mel Gibson. I was like, Hollywood's a bunch of Jews.
Yeah,
and apparently Gary Oldman was like, well, I mean, that's kind of how it is, so it's not... And then, like, later on apologize.
Yeah.
But at the same time, can you really blame a man for pointing out the truth?
Whoa, Danny, that's...
I'm not defending anyone. I'm just saying.
It's any business. If you went to any business, it was like, but, I mean, come on, this business is kind of run by nepotism. Then tomorrow you'd have to go, all right, it's not run by nepotism, and the boss and his son made me say that.
Yeah, the boss and his
yeah, and if I didn't, then
you're like, this fucking
his
company,
wife, the secretary...
This company is run by Jews. And they're like, that's fucked up. No, literally, the boss is Jewish. His whole family is Jewish.
We work at Schmeugel, Schmeugel, and Schmeugel. Seriously? It's not run by Jews? What are you talking about? I'll have to apologize for that tomorrow, I'm sure. Yeah, banquet, typical, let's dance, who's that, ladies, hey, whatever.
So wait, is his uncle divorced because they wanted him to meet that other blonde midget? And like,
I do not know the family situation. I cannot give you an answer. I have no idea what's going on.
Are those his kids? Those girls that were at the table?
Yeah, he said that.
So those are their cousins. Their parents are presumably dead.
No, because I thought the uncle that was the uncle's kids.
Yes, those are those three daughters were the uncle's kids.
I'm not saying all little people look alike, but
they sure did look alike.
Wait,
I'm just saying when I'm not involved in a community that is not my own, things become blurry, and it's hard to pick up the
this
finer
is all
details.
fucked up because their parents are alive.
Yeah.
But at one point, it's like, oh, blah, 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 we're going to go to my uncle and aunt's house for, like, instead of my parents.
No, is it his aunt, or is it some whore that he picked up at the banquet?
Yes. What? I don't understand. There's an uncle who picked up a hooker ice skater. He's got 3 daughters. I don't know why they don't go to the parents. Maybe the parents live too far away. They go to the fucking... We're not even up to this yet. She doesn't even know she's pregnant.
She's pregnant?
They haven't even left the banquet. He hasn't met the hooker we're talking about. And she's not a hooker. She's just an entertainer. She's an ice skater. All right, so yeah, he meets her, and then Matthew McConaughey dances very awkwardly with children. He bends down like to be
now, were
honorable
those
with them.
little children?
Some of them were.
I'm
pretty sure one of them was a dwarf, so she was like
I
taller
think
than
the oldest was a dwarf.
Well, I don't know because the one that looked the oldest was definitely the one that looked like she had like wrinkles in her face because she looked the oldest was on an episode of...
Wait, she was like the goth, like the black
No,
hair?
the goth one is the one that I'm pretty sure is like not a little person but a dwarf. Like short but not full on.
Well, in this they call them all. They all call them.
Yeah,
dwarfs.
I don't know the distinction, bro. Like every time Kate Beckinsale goes to someone and goes, "Can you give me some help?" They go, "Well, I can show you a book or give you a doctor." You go, "That's not what I know what books and doctors are. Well, I'm asking for real world experience."
Clearly, she doesn't know what books and doctors are.
She might actually not know what books or doctors are.
Also, when she was painting, she was just painting the wall of their room, but. Like, she's supposed to be an artist. Like, how do you... She's like, I can sell you this wall.
There's no indication of anyone's skill. What does Matthew McConaughey do for a job?
He teaches people how to fight fire.
How is that How is that a skill?
And she does sell her art. She sells enough to get to pay the bills.
Allegedly.
You can lie to a parent? Like,
when we meet her, she's literally just painting, like the letter U over and over again in red paint on the wall, I think it's fucking The Shining or something.
I think they're supposed to be roses, but you're not artistic enough to see that.
Way.
Yeah, it's a wall full of roses.
Maybe that's how she sells her art, by doing it at home and taking pictures and be like, "See, I can do this shit at your house."
Yo, what a fucking scam that is. She's like, "I'll sell you this painting." They're like, "All right, sold." She's like, "Well, it's in my house, so it has to stay here, and you can't have it." And then she just fucking paints over it.
It's my wall.
Like,
so.
It's my wall. She's like, I sold you.
I showed you the. I showed you the paint.
Yeah.
Not the canvas. You don't. There's a distinction.
Yeah, I showed you the painting, but it's my wall. I didn't sell you my wall. I can't. Like the lease agreement. There's no way I can just take.
I mean,
this
if you
wall
want
out.
a wall, that's gonna cost you like $10,000. I mean, that's a wall. I need that.
Yeah, 10,000 plus expenses.
Oh man, we're not even up to the crazy part yet. We're not even up to the really crazy part. The banquet ends. Rolf and Maurice show up. Rolf is Gary Oldman. Maurice is Peter Dinklage.
Why?
He's French
Why?
for some reason.
Why?
Because Peter Dinklage loves accents.
Does he?
And hates himself. I don't know.
I didn't understand. I'm French.
I don't know. Like anything else in this movie makes sense. They also show up with Patricia Arquette. We find out her name is Lucy. Maurice and Lucy go into the banquet. They get kicked out for stealing food. Rolf and Steven, their brothers, are like, hey, what's going on? Oh, can we hang out? No, differing schedules. All right, maybe next time.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next
So
year.
they literally only see each other once a year at the annual Little Persons Fight for Your Right to Party
Well,
convention.
if they make it.
What do you expect? Matthew McConaughey hates midgets, apparently. Despite being in a family of dwarves to tar.
And I think he may also be one himself. I don't understand how anything in this film works. I know how genetics work in real life. I'll tell you that right now.
Don't you feel like a dick? If you're Matthew McConaughey and you are born into a family of dwarves and you are Matthew McConaughey, so you're like 6'1", and you're like, well, I don't usually go to these family conventions, but I'm gonna go to the big one where all the little people are at. And you show up there and you're like, I'm the tallest one.
I
in the
don't
room.
think he was spiteful. I don't think he showed up out of spite.
You're
No,
like,
I think that's
hey
it.
guys, guess who got the luck of the draw? That's kind of like, I would feel like, imagine you were born into a family and like everybody like at fucking 15, their fucking arms fell off.
Nope.
Right? And then you show up at the family convention, you're like, what's good, guys?
Look at me, I'm the only one not a snake.
Oh, I can move this with my arms.
Papa.
I can move this. I can. It's not a snake.
What horrible people you are. Jesus Christ.
What fucking Disney cartoon? A man born into a family of snakes, hatched from an egg, but born a human.
What are we watching? What film are we watching?
This is Disney's Snakeahontas.
Sure. All right, so Steven goes home. Carol, she's like...
Does he really go home? Because he quickly leaves.
Does he leave?
Yeah, because this is when I'm pretty sure isn't this the scene where she announces that, like, she's pregnant, and then they have their whole argument?
Yeah, I don't think he left. I thought he kind of just rolled over and died at the end of that scene.
No, that's later on, I believe.
Oh, is it?
I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's the one when she says therapy. He's like, therapy! Just like, rolls over and dies.
Yeah, this is the one where he's pretty much like, what? No.
I gotta go to work.
You gotta abort that shit, like, now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, she's like, you're playing me, I know it. I don't know how you're playing me, but you're playing me. Which, she said the word playing me just enough times that I went, okay, I gotta look up this fucking word. I'm positive she doesn't know what she's talking about. And so, the closest would be that she thinks that she's being taken advantage of.
Okay.
Which, to me, doesn't make any sense, because I'm positive you're taking advantage of me.
We've already
but I'm definitely gonna
established
stay.
she's fucking nutballs. She's like, oh hey honey, remember beginning of the movie. Oh hey honey, but don't go to this thing. I'll suck your dick. You're cheating on me.
Yes.
Like literally.
No.
That was her thought.
yeah.
This is how I don't know who wrote this movie. This is how this woman was written.
No, she's
as a fucking nutball.
No, of course. And she is a nutbar because it turns out that the reason that she feels like he's keeping stuff from her, because guess what? She's keeping something from her. Oh, yeah, projection. Woo, woo. So she might be pregnant. She's not sure because apparently she's willingly raped by him 3 times in a week or something like that.
Yeah. He's like, but we use protection every time. And she's like, well, except the 3 nights a week where you just roll over in the middle of the night and
Stick it in without a
fuck-
con.
yeah.
She's like, don't tell me you don't remember. I'm like, okay, I was definitely raped. Like, that's how I'm not even in this scene. I definitely got raped by watching this. This is horrifying.
Maybe she's into it. Just being woken up by mysteriously being raped by Matthew McConaughey.
Maybe he's like a real heavy sleeper, and she's fucking like middle of the night. She gets up, and he's fucking like got that fucking nighttime.
Then how would that be him screwing her in the middle of the night?
It's her craziness.
Yeah, she doesn't understand the male body. The penis has to fill with blood several times a night to maintain its size.
No,
Otherwise,
but I
it'll
mean,
shrivel
if
up
she
and die.
rapes him, then how is that him raping her?
Well, she, in her fucking craziness, is like, well, he's hard, so he's fucking, here he goes again. Even though he's fucking completely asleep, snoring the whole time.
Point is, rape is happening.
Yes.
So Steven is freaked out because her justification for why they should have a baby is because these are our baby years. Let's just do it.
Pretty much.
No, those are not pretty much. Those are her exact lines. No, I wasn't paraphrasing. That was a quote. She said, "These are our baby years. Let's just go for it."
Let's just...
That her quote. End quote. That's what she said.
I didn't even know there was such thing as baby years.
No. I think it's for women. It's like from 21 to 25. So.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, physiologically, it's from, like, 15 to, like, 40.
Yeah. But society says you're human garbage if you do it any other time outside of that area. So, 28 and you're pushing it. Like, you're like, what do you do all your life? So you're a doctor now, right?
You're a doctor.
No, but I'm really good at smoking pot. Smoke the shit out of it. I can't understand, first off, why they're together. He's some crazy firefighting Navy man. She's some hip, like, they haven't done one thing.
How do they meet?
I don't understand.
There's no background story besides, here are these characters. One has a midget family. One's an artist.
I presume
Put it together.
I presume it's literally nothing more than Matthew McConaughey has money and she's a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's, she just likes to suck dick at a drop of a hat, and he can pay the bills. Done deal.
And she doesn't have to deal with him, like, 90% of the time. Because apparently he's like, well, gotta go to work. And he disappears for, like, 2 weeks.
I have to go away for 2 weeks to a place that's close enough that you could drive here and back home in the same day.
Yeah.
Don't know why he stays up there. He just doesn't like her.
Yeah. Also, is that how it works? Like, as a firefighter, you're like, well, we gotta train these guys to fight fires in the middle of the woods, so they're just gonna go live in the woods for a week.
Doesn't
Is that
make sense?
No,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
understand any of it.
No, to understand how to fight fires in the woods, you have to understand the woods themselves.
Nope.
How would that make sense?
Don't feed into it. Don't. He's gonna go all firefighting rant about before smoke. He's gonna show up and give a speech. It's not worth it. We go. Oh well, actually, they're like, oh really, kid? That's crazy. They're like, having Matthew McConaughey's freaking out because he says having a kid is usually something people talk about before they do it, and she's like, that's what we're doing. He's like, so you don't understand tenses. Like, how do you not get?
I mean, technically, she's correct, because they haven't had the kid yet, so...
No, life begins at conception. It's a child, not a choice. Get an abortion. You don't choose to have a child. You either have one or you don't, so don't.
Are you then choosing?
Wait, what?
Trust me, if I say it enough, people will go, yeah! Cross off the anti and all our abortion signs.
Stop having sex. Just jerk off all the time.
Jerk off on each other constantly. So we go to a hotel, and the motorcycle gang, they show up there. Maurice and Ralph and Lucy. They want a night. The owner's like, no prostitutes. Oh, so just a prostitute and a couple of kids then? Sure, I'll give you a discount. Ralph takes a shower and goes to sleep. Lucy, who, like, up until the wedding scene, I keep thinking is named Candy. Like,
not as well be.
Yeah, might as well be. Her and Maurice get drunk and then fuck.
Drunk on a mixture of...
cognac and cherry-flavored morphine.
Cherry-flavored morphine.
It's okay, he has a prescription.
Yeah. I don't think that's how morphine works.
It's from France, so that may be how France works.
Probably. Yeah, no, that's...
After all that, we get to see just little people shit, which is apparently bleeding ulcers and herniated discs. Or, excuse me, naturally herniated discs. He didn't do something. He just grew up into a herniated disc.
Well,
Like,
I mean, he didn't really grow up.
Oh, come on.
That's the
Come on.
problem.
No.
That's the problem.
You're the problem.
He grew, but not up. So where else is this going to go but sideways? Am I wrong?
Maybe.
No. Correct.
All right, so, but Maurice does not want a doctor, and Rolf was like, well, then I'm just going to leave. So he leaves. He leaves him there to die.
He literally is like on the verge of banging Lucy, and all of a sudden he's like, oh! Ah!
Yeah, he starts coughing up blood.
Like, yes, it's coughing blood. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm good.
Don't
No,
call
no,
him.
no doctors.
Don't call no fucking doctor.
No fucking doctor. Just give me more morphine. Just call up the doctor and get morphine. But no doctors!
It's fucking...
So Rolf goes to Sally's apartment, and he meets his lady Sally, and she's apparently fucking some guy, but she's ready for an adult relationship, and she wants to get back together with him. But then her boyfriend, who shows up, it's definitely not her boyfriend, and he's like, you gotta hide, because, he can't see you. And he's like, but if you're not, why don't you just tell him everything you just told me?
Yeah.
And then he comes in, and he's like, why are you fucking another girl? And she just goes, shut up, I can't hear you! Ah! Just covers her
But
ears!
You listen to this shit the guy says?
Not really.
It's hysterical. She's like, but you said Well, first, she's like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'll pay you.
Oh, yeah, I'll pay you back in your G-spot.
Your G-spot, right?
Yeah.
At this point, Ross, like, fucking peeking through the door like a cuckold. And fucking, it's like, this is getting awkward.
Yeah.
Then, as they're fighting after he discovers Ralph, he's like, but you said I am a hung stallion that give you many orgasms. Like, all kinds of weird
Oh, my
shit.
That's not the funny part. The funny part is when they go back to Rolf, you kind of have a look where he looks disappointed, kind of like, she said that same stuff. to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here
All
now,
right,
because
yeah.
clearly she's a whore.
Oh,
this
wait.
whole movie's full
So
of whores.
I'm the best you've ever had, too. Wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah. So, yeah, she uses him as an emotional shield and then a physical shield. And then she hits the boyfriend with a boombox.
Yes.
Like a ghetto blaster.
Like a
I was
19
surprised that she had that.
Like in 1990s.
Yeah.
Also, she was in like this weird lingerie the entire time, and it was gross.
It was, yeah.
Like-
I didn't really... Anyway, whatever. It's not past too much judgment. Just for reference, though, to Carol, this is what being played looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Get your shit together, Carol. We go back to the studio apartment, and Carol is taking a pregnancy test. Oh, good, she's getting her shit together.
Yeah.
Not really, because apparently she lets it sit over her steaming hot cup of coffee. It has to affect it in some way.
Yeah, I wasn't sure why she did that either.
That has to. But apparently she's definitely pregnant. Like, I was so confident this was going to be like a plot point. We're like, no, when you put it over hot steam, it gives you a false positive. Like, no, they're like, no. When
she
you
read online
when
on
you put it over
fucking
coffee,
on fuckwithyourman.com.
it makes you extra pregnant.
Yeah, if you put it over your coffee, it comes a false positive. She can tell you, man, you're pregnant.
Bitches.
That's how you test his commitment.
So we go to the fire training, and Steve is just yelling at a fat guy for being way too fat to be a firefighter. And then one of his female coworkers is like, you're being an asshole, stop.
Well, I mean, he kind of is. He's like, put out this fire with a shovel and some dirt.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's standard training. Like, it's just your shuffling technique. And he wasn't he wasn't shoveling on it. The fire went in a straight line, and he was shoveling it sideways instead of
He's a
on the-
fireman. Where's my fucking fire hose?
No, sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes putting water on the situation will move the oil around and cause a bigger fire. So you gotta put
it's
dirt
forest
on it.
fire.
It's not everything is a forest fire.
They're in a forest fighting a fire. It's a forest fire.
Anyway, the worst thing that
And
he
where
said...
are they in California?
Yes.
Aren't the majority of fires in California in the forest?
Oh, come on! Come on!
This is...
That's a solid joke, Danny. Oh. All right, so... Oh, yeah, the worst thing he said... What did he say? He's like, not only can you not... I forget exactly. He was like, not only are you a bad firefighter, but you suck at it, or something like that. It was like, wow.
Hey, your parents hate you. They say you're adopted, and they wish they didn't adopt you because they hate you, fatty.
That was the line where she was like, "You're being an asshole." And I'm like, yeah, that's too much.
And he was like, "You're adopted too."
You're all adopted. Heel turn.
Yo, should I do that? Should I
Tell everybody that
I just want to go out. I mean, I'm the king, so if I want to open the show with a promo, I'll be like, I just want all you fucking peons to know that your king wants to let you know something that I learned about each and every one of you. You're all adopted. And I'll just leave, and that's it.
No, you gotta blow it up. Like, some kid's gotta mess with you. Like, fucking, you go, you know what? You want to tell you something, kid? You're adopted. Yeah, you are adopted. Shut up, fat boy. You're adopted. You're all adopted. Everybody here is adopted.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
No, you gotta do it Jericho style. Just point out random people and be like, "You're adopted. You see you right there? You're adopted also."
See that guy? He's adopted. This guy, no, he's adopted too.
Exactly. You just gotta point individual people out.
No, that's what you do. You go out and you go, now that I'm your king, I would like to let all of you know personally what I think of each and one of my subjects. You, sir, you're adopted. Sir, actually, you're adopted as well. This kid adopted. Now this guy right here, actually, he's double adopted. He's like super
The
adopted.
first family gave him back.
Yeah. Just whatever, you just run with it. And he's ugly. I'm the king. Do that. Whatever. Just go batshit.
I need to take out like a Jerry Springer type envelope. The results of the blood test are.
Man, this movie sucked, huh? I can't even get through it. The worst part was I don't think the acting to me was convincing. It's just all the dialogue was batshit.
Yeah, no.
Everything was batshit.
None of it had to do with anything.
Every conversation was, didn't you just do a thing? I didn't do a thing. No, it was definitely you. Screw you. Listen, I don't know why we're fighting. How come we don't love each other? Like, it's just out of control.
I thought this movie was going to be one of those where it's like, kind of like how they have the movie where it's like, he's a fucking racist, and like, he's got to work with a black guy. Oh, but wait a minute. He's earned respect for the black guy. Oh, at the end, he stands up for the black guy. He realizes all people are equal. That's great. I thought it was going to be like that. It's like, he hates dwarves. And, but wait, they earned his respect.
It's fucking Oscar bait. It's fucking Oscar. It's classic Oscar bait. Yeah. Why didn't they go with that? So, let's go through this again.
Let's rewrite this movie.
We should, right? So, we go back to the studio apartment, and Rolf shows up looking for Steven, but he's already gone for the week. So Carol lets Rolf in. He's like, "Oh, how are you related to Stephen? Like, are you adopted, like brothers?" And she's like, "No, we're twins."
Like the movie Twins.
Yeah.
Sure. No, exactly.
No, exactly like twins. Just as good. Just as twinsy. So yeah, they're twins, and Stephen's the only big guy in the family. And then Rolf passes out on the couch, and Carol's like, "I'm just gonna leave now," and goes away. She goes to the fire training seminar, and she's like, what the fuck?
Can we just talk about the fact that a guy shows up at her door she's never met or heard of or seen, and he's like, no,
she's not even positive he has a brother.
Yeah. She's like, I'm his twin brother, and she's like,
okay.
I guess. You can sleep on the couch. I gotta go now. Like, this could be...
She should have been robbed. She really should have been robbed.
She definitely should have been robbed or murdered, or both. Like,
well, not even that. How about the questions? Oh, so your parents, they little too? It's just like, how? You just met the guy. Way to be rude. Just be like, I'm gonna point out the whole family's just small now.
I was the same way, but when we go back to the studio apartment, she actually apologizes to him for that.
Oh,
yeah. Like the first time I watched it, I went, "This bitch," and the second time I went, "Oh shit, maybe not." She's actually kind of cool. Like the second time I watched it, it really warped my perspective of the film.
I really wish Matthew McConaughey was like such a fucking in denial. He's like, "That's not my brother."
I do not know that guy. Gotta call the cops.
The first time you guys only watched this movie once, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you watched it, you kind of just went the whole way through going, okay, so Matthew McConaughey is the everyman. He's the main character.
Yeah.
He's eventually going to... Okay, yeah. Getting to watch it a second time and knowing that he wasn't, the film... It's a whole new film. Like, I noticed different emotions from the same actors. I went, hang on, I wasn't even paying attention to that before. This is, like, it's just... It's the craziest film.
You see the evil in his
world.
eyes.
Yeah. Oh my God! Terrified of that man I was the second time I watched it. First time, right by his side. I was his second in command.
I'm with you, McConaughey.
Second time, I was holding the barricade to keep him back. I was on the other side of the door listening to him go, "Here's Johnny." Is that too old, that reference now?
No,
we just not?
No, because it was a new Mortal Kombat game, and...
How does that have anything to do with Here's Johnny?
Well, what do you mean? Johnny Cage punches a hole or rips a hole in a guy and pops his face through and goes, "Here's Johnny."
Does he?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
about
it's one of his fatalities.
Oh, the new game?
Yeah.
I was like, that never happened in the whole... They did not have that technology
They didn't
from
have that
Genesis.
technology. It was just like...
Oh, no. There was also...
Yeah.
The classic. What do you have to do? You press the button. How do you get
Oh.
There's a certain way. So, yeah, she leaves. Then we go back to the hotel real quick, and Maurice, if you remember, he was coughing up blood last time we left him. He wakes up covered in rocks, like the end scene of Man on the Moon. Like, I thought he had cancer. Like, that was it. I thought he was dead. No, it's just like holistic medicine, and that's what Lucy's into.
Do people really believe that? Like, if I put a rock on you, it heals?
Yeah. Studies have shown that believing that medicine, like placebos, work because people just straight up. So there's a chance that the rocks will work. I mean,
So it's like that time that Lisa sold a rock to Homer that kept tigers away.
did you see any tigers?
I didn't see any tigers.
Rock's doing its job, Lisa. So, yeah, Lucy is somehow dressed even more like a prostitute than she was before.
Yeah.
The manager comes and bangs on the door and says, you guys have to leave and stuff like that. And Maurice is like, fucking pig. And he pulls a gun. And Lucy's like, what the heck? And just pulls out her heel and just lunges out the door and
beats him right in the skull with the fucking heel of her shoe.
like 30 times in a row she hit him.
Yeah, while Maurice is in the room just like, yeah, I'm just going to wait until this guy walks in. I'm going to blast him in the
Murder
face.
him, yeah.
Like that, his plan was literally, I'm going to shoot this guy in the face.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Because I didn't check out on time.
Fucking maniac. I do want to point out that this scene is actually much less exciting than we made it sound.
Yeah, no,
it's not that exciting at all. It's really kind of like it's more about how Maurice is definitely in love with Lucy now. Like that was the main message of that scene.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get that at the end.
Yeah,
He was
that's
like,
why he put down the gun and
you're
he
so
kind of was
beautiful.
like
I couldn't
staring at
believe
it.
it. Did I see it before?
All right.
Or
kinda-
at least it starts at this. The park one is where he's like, definitely.
Yeah, that was kind of like she kind of protected me. Maybe this is one of the good ones.
He stopped me from having to murder again. That is true love.
It's hardcore over in France. So Carol shows up to the fire training to tell Stephen that Rolf showed up, and she knows all about him being a dwarf and how it's a genetic thing, and she is not she's not interested in being PC. She calls it midget.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't have a brother, and
Yeah,
what
they're
are
not
you talking
midgets.
about?
They're dwarves. You're going to piss people off. Where his exact words
Yeah,
are.
it's the two of them talking in a field, and he's like, you gotta be PC. The crowd's not gonna like it if you keep calling midgets. What the fuck are you doing?
You gotta cool it. You're gonna get
Trying
a lot of heat out there.
Trying to get an Oscar at 5 stars, or this movie keeps saying midget's gonna screw us over, girl. So, she's. It's just this is a crazy scene. This is a scene that's so weird because it's like, it's actually a really well acted scene. Like, it's compelling, but the dialogue is batshit.
Again,
it makes no sense.
I think everybody does like a decent job acting in this movie.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the dialogue making no sense, these people might have awards for this film.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely. Steven was like, I was going to tell you, but I didn't think it was important. And she was like, do you even want to be with me in a relationship? And he's like, I'm not going to jump through hoops. And you seem to be obsessed with motherhood right now. And, like, there's a lot of, like, just easing it. Like, I was going to tell you, but I didn't think it was important. Why didn't I think it's important? Oh, because it's a kid thing. We're not having kids. So that whole line of talking is just skipped over, and we jump right to, oh, well, you're obsessed with motherhood, and they say things where I'm like, there should have been like a good 6 sentences in between those.
Well, not even that. Doesn't Matthew McConaughey know how relationships work? And you gotta eventually tell the person where you came from and who your family is.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. I feel that in this scene, there's a lot of that part skipped where it's like, well, yeah, I do, but I didn't think we were at that point yet, and now you jump on me with pregnancy, pry open my life through my brother, and now you're attacking me for it. I'm on Matthew McConaughey's side in this scene. Attacking me for it, and then you're like, why didn't you tell me? Well, maybe if you didn't pry my life open, I could have told you tomorrow.
Maybe he didn't tell her because we were right. She was a whore all along. Now he got her pregnant. Now she's like, oh shit, I get to live the good life.
Look.
She's gonna Jefferson him.
Movie opens, it's them in the apartment, and then he goes to the convention. What does she do? We don't know. Could be anything. We never see that wall again. Who's to say if it was ever finished?
Maybe she just painted over.
I'm pretty sure she kind of finished the wall.
The wall was done when the movie started. Yeah. She was just like applying extra coats to be like, he gone yet? Can I suck 8 dicks right now?
I bet you gotta get paid.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with sucking dicks. I don't know. She sells art. She just likes to suck dicks. I mean, I just want to be clear. If you like to suck dicks, you can suck dicks all you want. Don't do it while you're in a committed relationship with a person. That's
how
cool.
she sells her art.
Well,
no.
You can suck their dick.
Nope.
No?
No.
Just don't.
Not cool.
You are in a relationship, no dicks
no
near your
dick
mouth.
sucking. Nobody. You, her, him, nobody.
Nobody sucked anybody's dick.
No. Don't bring a dick sucking proxy into it. It's not involved. No dick sucking. It's over. Why do you think so many people hate marriage and being in a relationship? Because of the rules. The clear-cut rules. Yeah, so, they're like, oh, one of the horrible things she says is, I thought having a child was the reason we were getting married. And he's like, well, there are other reasons people get married. But then he kind of just jumps to the next subject, which is, well, we could always adopt. Because apparently he definitely does not want to have his own child. They go back and forth, and eventually she circles right back around to the start, which is, well, you could have told me. So at this point, instead of punching her in the face, he just goes, I'll see you tomorrow, bye-bye.
Get the fuck out
and just tells her to go home, because you're not making any fucking sense.
And he's like, I can't wait to start some fires. My aggression out.
I'm trying, Smokey, I'm trying. It's only me, but what do I do when I'm starting them as well? Awesome. So we go to a park real quick. I don't know any parks in LA, so I can't even give you a reference point. But they go to some random park in LA.
LA National Park.
Boom! Got it! Maurice and Lucy make out in the park, and Lucy's like, oh, I was from New York, and then I moved to LA, and my old man, he was her last husband, and blah. They just give her history. It's not... She only appears 2 more times in this film. It's not important.
Nope.
Were they gonna bang at the park?
It seemed like he's the type of guy and she's the type of girl where it's like, hey, we should fuck here.
I should point out the entire scene was done in close-up. So they could have been fucking the whole scene. It's possible.
While there was kids in the background of the park. What, I think we're playing baseball, it looked like?
You know what? None of this is important.
I don't think
Not important.
dwarves respect sexual boundaries because it's established later on in the movie. We'll get to it that they're basically people fucking in open view of other people.
Yeah. We go to the studio apartment again, the studio apartment home, and Ralph is yelling at Sally on the phone. He's like, I'm a bastard, I'm a fucking fart. And then Carol
fart.
Yeah, and then Carol walks in, and he's like, I gotta go, and he hangs up, and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be, languagey, and she's like, I'm sorry, I was asking you horrifically offensive questions, and we find out that nobody in the family even knows that Steven has a girlfriend, let alone that apparently they're already engaged. I don't think it's till they like go to the uncle's house that I realize, oh, they're all, it's not like, oh, she's pregnant, now we have to get married.
No,
they were already getting married.
Known each other for a year.
Yeah, that was it, really?
Yeah, no, it's just, she's like, we've been dating a year, blah, blah. It's like a throwaway line, but yeah, they've been together a year.
Oh, so they're both crazy then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She,
I gotta watch this movie a third time now.
I mean, for him, he's like, wow, this is great. I go away to work for a week, come home, get my dick sucked, go back to work. What? This is the American dream.
So,
I ain't married.
what?
Which only leads me to believe that he gets his dick sucked at work also. Because, going ahead, he invites those 2 other firefighters.
Every time, except for when Carol shows up the one time, every time he's at the training camp, even when it's the dead of night in the woods, that blonde firefighter lady is she's right next to him. She's right there.
Are you telling me McConaughey couldn't have banged that girl?
Oh, he should have, because Carol's insane.
Yeah.
He should have done it 20 times. And the other female one that I wasn't really into her.
What I'm saying is...
should have done it anyway, just to stick it to Carol, just for being so crazy.
No, he should have stuck it to the other girls.
Yeah, okay.
He probably does it to all the new recruits. That's why he disappears for a week.
That's what the week's for.
He just works his way through the recruits up and down.
First week you fuck, second week you wash your dick. So, yeah, they apologize to each other for what they did and said, whatever. And then she asks if Steven, since Steven is normal, does that mean that their child might be normal? And Ralph says, probably not, but I'm not a doctor. And then she asks if she wants a doctor's number. And I'd like to point out that that's actually exactly how genetics work. Because Steven is not a dwarf, and she's not a dwarf. There's like almost no chance they'd have a dwarf. He has to have the dwarf gene, which he does, recessive. She'd also have to have the recessive dwarf gene for them to have a dwarf child. I mean, maybe she does. So that really is her own fault.
But isn't it implied that their child is a dwarf?
What?
At the end of...
Yeah, their child is... Yes, what I'm saying is this movie, once again, does not make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. They went ahead and just went, fuck it. I mean, but see, that's the problem, though, because later on, Steven says, I'm a dwarf. Like, I get into a fight, and he goes, I'm a dwarf. So, I don't...
Maybe he's just saying, at that point, he's just saying it because...
I think he's just projecting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just, yeah. Emotional turmoil. So, after asking Carol if she wants a number for a doctor, Rolf takes her to a relative's house for no reason.
Isn't that where you get your numbers?
That's where I get numbers for doctors? Yeah, I take a stranger to my relative's house and then ask him for a doctor's number. I let them think whatever they want to think.
And introduce them to your nieces and your uncle's whore.
She's just an ice skater.
I still don't understand which of those children were dwarves.
The youngest and the oldest, I'm guessing.
And the middle child was...
A middle child.
The child in the middle of the scene was, a normie, yeah. Sure. The goth one was dwarfish. Yeah. The other one was dwarfish.
Vaguely.
And the youngest one was a regular human child.
Or was she?
So, yeah, they're talking to the relatives, and she's just like, what can you tell me? I want to point out that it's very clear that she definitely is being played at this point. Nobody in this guy's family knows who she is, and they're about to marry.
Yeah.
It's clear that she's she was so worried that he was keeping something from her and that she was, tricking him or her in some way, and all she does is continually find out that that's exactly what he's doing.
There's more and more that she does not know.
She doesn't budge. She roots in deeper like some dumb tree. Like a dumb tree.
just a dumb tree. You accidentally got pregnant.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have a half tree baby.
We all know what those are. We've all seen those trees.
Well, actually, because of his genes, it'd be a stump.
All right, so
I just got that.
Oh my God, no! Oh my gosh! So yeah, the scene is
Or would it be
basically
a shrub?
just, oh, boy. So, yeah, well, that's fine, because basically the scene ends with Carol asking, what's life going to be like for, a little person? And he says, well, life is hard. And yeah, it is, because you guys aren't helping them at all. Yeah, he once again refers her to both books and doctors. And we jump ahead to a phone call. Carol calls Steven. She's like, how are things going? I met your family. They invited me to a party. And he very calmly says goodbye and then throws his phone into the woods. And then the blonde firefighter walks out of the woods and goes, well, that was stupid. Don't know why she was there. And then he's like, want to go to a party?
Because she just finished blowing him in the woods.
Oh, he had to walk out into the clearing to answer the call.
Yeah.
I can't. I have no reserves next to these trees. It's the strangest thing. This phone, this new Sprint phone. I get bad reception when my penis is in somebody's mouth. I gotta go over here, away from your gagging, where nobody can hear it on the phone.
I mean, really, at this point, his whole life is crumbling down. He kept his fucking regular size life and his half size life completely separate. Now they're all coming crashing together.
He should have saw how crazy she was. It's his own fault, really.
Yeah.
He should have saw the trouble she was.
Well,
from
that's what
day
happens
one.
when you try to live 1.5 lives.
You guys are way too good at this. You guys are way too good at this.
Oh fuck! Yo, we gotta do dwarf movies all the time.
We'll never do a dwarf movie again. How about that? Holy crap! All right, so we're at the midway point of the film right now, and it's the big party. Everybody shows up. Carol is dancing, and she says she's not drinking, but she seems pretty drunk to me at that party.
She's not drinking anymore.
No. She's like, I can't drink. I'm pregnant. And then she's like, oh, that's right. Okay. And then immediately afterwards, she's like, so you want to go get drinks? And they all go get drinks. Maurice and the uncle start arguing over politics, and then Ralph drags him away, and he's like, you're being a dick. My uncle's a good guy. Leave him alone, blah, blah, blah. Then Ralph yells at Steven for not taking care of Carol. Ralph is a real fucking downer at this party.
Yeah.
He's a real fucking downer.
He's a downer like the entire movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he clearly wants to get into Carol's pants by this point, where he's just like, listen, Matthew McConaughey has the life that I want. I'm going to slowly swoop in and, like, be nice to this bitch and take her away.
This bitch is crazy. Fucking this is gonna work.
Yeah, but he's like, hey, I can't get the best, the best here. So whatever I get is the best to me. You know what I mean? Your 4 is my 10. That's what I'm saying. All right. So yeah, Rolf goes to look for Sally, his girlfriendish type dealie, and she is banging Jerry Robin Jr., who's David Allen Greer.
Yes.
Like in a laundry room that is all windows.
In a sunroom.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's a fucking sunroom immediately next to the porch with 50 people on.
Yeah.
So, again...
No, it's okay. The light's off. Because then they turn the light on and everyone can see
and
it.
everyone's like,
everyone
oh,
knows. They all know.
Shit.
Yeah.
You mean that was 2 people fucking this whole time?
I thought they were doing laundry in there.
Get out of here.
I thought David Allen Greer was beating up a stuffed animal.
God. So all the main characters leave the party, and Steven invites Rolf to stay with them. Back at the studio apartment, Steven can't sleep because he's nervous about having a fucked up kid. But she's like, "Oh, don't call him that. I don't care if it's fucked up. It's gonna be fine." And Steven mentions about how Rolf used to just cry all the time because being a little person hurts sometimes. And she was like, "But it wasn't a lot of cry. It wasn't like a whole bunch of crying, right? It was okay." And she's like, "No, it was a lot." And he's like, "Oh, so then his childhood was good." And he's like, "Well, his childhood was okay. Yeah, but it was like a better than okay, right?" And I was like, "No, it was just normal. Like, what about like high school? Well, high school was all right, but like a really good all right though. Like anything he said, he's like, no, but it was like, but the good version of what you're saying, right? It's totally okay. Well, he cried a lot. He had bleeding ulcers, but like but bleeding ulcers that bled in smiles, right? Like, it was great. Like,
Yeah, she asks a lot of weird questions. She even asked him at one point, did you have any sexual encounters with little people?
oh my
fuck?
god.
Brandon was like,
Straight up.
Hey, do you guys pay attention to what he says? Do you pay attention to that whole thing?
He's like, yeah, well, I played doctor.
Yeah, he said no big deal. No, actually, his words were, it was no big deal. You know, we played doctor like when I was 12, you know, the kids would come over, we played doctor in a circle. Her response was, you had a circle jerk with a bunch of little people? I'd love to see that.
Yes!
I'm quoting now.
Okay.
His line is, you would like to see that. And because he has to roll over and hug her as he says that, so it's like, I hate this film. You would like to see that, wouldn't you?
Circle jerking with a bunch of little people.
Like every line she says, I go, holy fuck, euthanize her. Oh yeah, then I thought that was the end of the scene. No, they roll back over and there's more to the scene. This is the craziest movie ever. He's like, are you sure about having this baby? And she goes, Stephen, I think you have a lot of ambivalence about your family being little, and I think you should seek counseling about it. What?
Bitch, you're turning the fucking crazy on me?
It's so great because he's looking at her when she says that, and then she says that, and he kind of just rolls over and looks up, and then kind of just rolls over to the side. Like, he basically dies. He just dies. So I'm pretty sure this is the point in the movie where he gave up on life then. He was like, whatever happens, I don't care. Just go.
I thought he gave up when she told him that that she was pregnant.
I don't.
No, because he was still like fighting.
He went to the party and had a good time.
Yeah.
This is the point where he was like, I'm just shut down. I'm on autopilot now. I am officially in a coma right now.
I really think he went to the party with those two girls to be like, listen, I can be fucking these two right now. But I just want to show you who I can be.
He leaves without them.
Yeah, and they immediately leave him. Like he's like, yeah, I don't care.
Oh yeah, but I think it's just to be like, these are the whores I could be fucking.
I agree with you, but I also think that he didn't make that message very clear at all.
No.
Like I think those may have been his intentions, and then he showed up and he was like, you know, she's actually not too bad looking. Like he forgot or something stupid, you know.
The whole way to the party, he's like, I'm gonna show this bitch. This is the kind of pussy I could be having, but she's lucky to be with me. And he gets there and he's like, that's really, I don't want to be the asshole.
All right, so the parents meet, they arrive. I think this scene takes place they have a new place, Carol and Steven. They have a new house, and this is where it takes place.
Okay.
I think. The only reason I think
when the parents meet?
Yeah.
No, that's at the parents'
That's
house.
the parents' house.
Does anybody know what the dad's name is? Yeah.
Papa?
Because that's why I think they have a new house, because in the scene there's like a lazy boy chair and it has like an embroidered cloth on it and it says Stevie. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe I don't know the dad's name. Could be Stevie. You know, I don't know. But whatever. All right, they're at a place that looks like the set of like the Brady Bunch. You know, kind of. Actually, that's not true at all. No,
It's a happy upper middle class white family.
Yeah, that has to be his parents because later on when they are at the apartment,
spiral staircase. Yeah, that's true. All right, whatever. Not important. Doesn't matter. They meet, and Carol's mother, I don't know why, but she is just shocked, stiff, completely like she was electrified. Like I don't understand it. She's in a coma. Again, a lot of comas in this film. A lot of comas. Carol's dad and Steven are both Navy men, so they're getting along, and Carol's mom is still, I'm presuming, horrified that they're little people. At dinner, Carol's parents are like, listen, we got a big thing we got to talk about. And this is when everyone is presuming that they're going to be like, listen, I know you guys are happy, but we fucking hate midgets and you can't be with each other. Like, no, but they're like, listen,
my daughter's not married into those circus families.
Yeah, right, no. You have no idea how hard it was to get her off the trapeze when she was a teenager. And now you're bringing her right back in, you people, with your ideas and your warrants. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, they want a Jewish wedding because Carol's grandfather is an Orthodox Jew.
Sure.
Whatever.
Okay.
Ha ha ha. Thought you were going to say some racist shit. We'll do whatever you want now.
Yeah.
So they have a wedding. Yay! Jewish wedding.
And at this point, it's like a
glass.
complete reverse from how their relationship was. Because like, ha ha ha, oh, it's cool. We'll have a wedding. It's all right. I don't. But at this point, I just assume it's like fucking. They like
yeah,
he's been lobotomized.
absolutely.
He has no idea.
They're both in walking comas.
Yeah.
It's just natural, just like instincts kicking in. Someone talks to them, they don't think about what to say. Their brain does some weird math where it says, this is the average thing in which I would respond to that.
2 plus 3.
Yeah.
Smile and laugh.
Yeah, and just, it does the math and they get what they need, and it's just a walking coma. So yeah, for some reason, Maurice and Lucy are looking on, and Maurice is like, oh, getting married makes you family, like brother and sister. It's so gross. I'd never get married. What else is there? I don't know why Rolf invites Sally to the wedding.
Yep.
I don't know why he did that. Couldn't figure that out. They're all idiots in this family.
Well, because when they're doing that whole scene where he's talking about high school, he talks about how Ralph and Sally had been like dating off and on since like high school, and they had some real like messed up relationship with each other.
Yeah, because he's like, man, Sally's my girl. She's like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, he says that there was one time during high school where she like chased him down the hall and like cornered him, and then yelled at the top of her lungs that he hadn't fucked her in like 5 months or some shit like that.
Yeah. Imagine being in high school and fucking 2 little dwarves just go running by, and then one's like, you haven't fucked me in 5 months, you ain't.
Why are they British?
What do you mean? There's fucking a dwarf running down the hall. How is it not going to be British?
They're all British?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, the wedding, I didn't get the wedding. There was no grandfather there. There was a guy dressed like an Orthodox Jew, but he was the same age as Carol's parents. There's no way he was a grandfather.
Orthodox Jews don't age. They don't age.
That's the secret?
They're immortal.
I don't want to live forever, so I'm not being Jewish. No matter what you say, you're not tricking me.
They are the Highlanders.
That's what that movie's about?
Yes. It's really, I mean, you don't notice it the first time around, but it's really just like heavy fucking, like, they don't go out and do anything on Saturdays.
It's like, seriously, watch it again. It's basically just a remake of Fiddler on the Roof. Basically just Fiddler on the Roof 2. Like, you know, I don't know why we didn't see it the first time. All right, so we jump ahead to the hospital. Oh, no, excuse me. Actually, after the we're married, yay, goodbye, they get into a car. I think this is the wrongest part. Like, maybe later on is also wrong. But this is the first part where I'm like, no, everything in this scene, everything is wrong here. Carol is with Steven in the car, like, we got married, and Carol sees Rolf walking across the field and like walking away. She's like, oh, hang on, I gotta go do something right. Leaves the car, runs, sprints across the field, at which point we can all notice she's roughly 10 months pregnant? Like, she's the largest pregnant you could be. And she sprints in heels across a field to go get to him.
Trips.
No. But she goes over to him, says, I don't know. Maybe this is one of the reasons why I'm not in a relationship. I'm way too fucking jealous. But if on my wedding day, my wife went over to anyone, I don't care if my brother, anyone, and went, thank you for making my life better, and then kissed him on the lips, fucking divorce.
Yeah.
Fucking divorce right now.
I wasn't sure if anyone else
No!
thought that.
No, I
That's
thought-
yeah.
That's a whore. What the fuck?
Might as well suck his dick in the field.
No, that was the point where I was like, what the fuck is this movie about? Like, genuinely. Like, I was kind of watching this movie and going, these characters are kind of strange.
You know what
It's
it
fun.
is?
And then this point happened, I go, what is the story here? What is the story they're trying to fucking tell me? Because it's not happening anymore. This is the point where I was like, oh, there's
Fucked up shit going on.
There's definitely no story here, is there? They're not telling me anything that's going on. They're not telling me a fucking thing.
There's no point to any of it.
No, not a single scene made any sense or had a point. We jump to the hospital, which I don't know. Could be the next day. Could be.
Based on her pregnancy.
Could have been 9 months after the wedding.
Could have been 2 years. The first baby could have been something bad.
Yeah.
Yes, that noise.
That noise. What happened to the first baby? You know.
She pooped on the baby and the baby died.
That actually happens, you know.
I know, that's why I said it.
I mean, I don't think the baby dies from being moved.
This one did.
Doesn't have a
You
fun
heard the noise?
Yo, imagine that. Like, your kid's fucking 13 years old being a little shit and be like, you know what? When I gave birth to you, I shit all over you.
What's the retort to that? You shit on me every day, Mom. Like, it really fucking matters to me? I'm gonna go listen to Linkin Park. It's in again. It's retro now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the baby's born, and it's gonna need a whole bunch of medicine, and Steven is freaking out like he's withdrawing from bath salts. His eyes are so sunken into his head, yeah. He is freaking out. The doctor's like, you're gonna need some counseling. He's like, I need new chromosomes! Punches a hole in the wall and leaves. Sometime later, he comes back and he's like, let me hold the baby. And based on both Carol's reaction and the music, I am 1,000% certain he's going to take the baby and go, oh, yeah, don't worry. You won't hurt anymore. And just done.
Okay, I thought I was the only one who thought the whole time at that point. He's going to kill the kid. He's going to murder his kid.
I didn't think he was going to squish it between. I thought he was going to do like a little, twist the head a little too far.
The only reason I say he'd squish him because I feel like if he moved his hand for better twisting action, she would go, your hand doesn't go there, give me the baby back, and it would stop it. So that's why he just folds it inward like a croissant. Haven't had a croissant in a while, but like a croissant.
He folds it like Gary Oldman was folded to play a midget in this movie.
Even simpler. Oops, I dropped the baby. Crap. Mazel tov. There's your Jewish wedding. Enjoy.
You could just do like my brother did, which is, he went into my room and took my gerbil when he wasn't allowed, and then I came in and he got scared, he dropped it, and then he was like, where is it? Oh my God, and stepped on it with cleats, he was dead. That's what you do. Matthew McConaughey should have went to a golf store, bought some golf cleats.
He's like, honey, I'm gonna bring the baby out for a week in the firefighting. Oh, I've dropped the baby in the fire.
Just want to brush the baby up on some of his knowledge, bring him out on the links, teach him the game. Whoops. All right, so yeah, they go home, and I'm not sure if I heard this wrong, but I think we may have jumped ahead 10 months.
I don't know.
They don't specify how far.
I'm pretty sure she says he's been screwing like this for 10 months, or.
It's
10
hyperbole.
hours. Or 10 hours.
Oh, or 10 hours.
I don't know.
When the baby was crying?
Yeah, when she's holding the baby.
Oh, I thought she said that he's been crying for like 2 hours.
No, I thought she said 10 months, and then again she said 10 hours. Whatever. Steven is very upset because it's been, apparently, he says it's been 10 months.
Okay.
And she has not once said what his condition is. Say what it is. They have a big fight. Steven yells, say it! He's a dwarf! I'm a dwarf! I definitely missed something. I definitely missed something in this movie, because there's no way he's also a dwarf.
Well,
I mean, I know they're identical twins.
No, after the credits, when they reveal that it was just 3 dwarves stacked on top of each other.
Turns out Matthew McConaughey is actually several raccoons stacked atop each other being controlled by a bear autonomously in a van.
Yes.
Several raccoons stacked atop each other, bear, headset in a van.
Tell him what to say.
Tell him what it is.
It's like Punked.
Sucker's got to know.
Is Punked still?
Sucker's got to know. Is Punk still? I don't know.
No, what's the one with the guys? It's like 4 guys and they do
Impractical Joker.
Yeah, it's that. But with a bear and raccoons. And
with a bear and raccoons. Sure. Sure it is. So yeah, after the big fight, Steven's like, I can't take this anymore. I think we have to separate. I think that'd be best for Vincent, which is the baby's name. We go to a cabin. It's another jump ahead, so it could be hours later or months later.
yeah, we don't know.
I don't know when. I think it has to be quite a long time, because when she gets to the cabin, Rolf, Maurice, and Lucia, that's their cabin, they're enjoying their time there. She shows up with the baby, go, oh, we separated. I need a place to stay for a few days. And they start talking, and Rolf says that he's a writer, which we learned earlier.
Yeah.
And he finally got syndication in 3 papers. Mm-hmm. I mean, that could happen overnight, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
He probably got 1, then the 2nd, then the 3rd. So I'm going to guess at least a month.
Sure.
You know, like, I don't know. Unless he blew up overnight. I don't know. But there's definitely been some time here. So he's doing well. You know, he's a syndicated writer, which he said earlier. Like, if you're not syndicated, you're not really doing anything as a writer. So. Maurice goes off on women's lib and blah, blah, blah. And Lucy's like, oh, I'm a woman, screw you. And she goes inside and blasts music. And then the baby's hungry, but Carol is drunk. And they're like, when you're drunk, does the baby get drunk? And she's like, whoopsie doodle. And just feeds the baby. At night, Maurice and Lucy fight, and they both leave each other and the cabin. So it's just Rolf and Carol now.
Yep.
Like, it's definitely creepier than it used to be. They fought loudly, so Rolf goes and takes the baby and holds him, and Carol's like, "Where's my baby?" And it's like, "Oh, okay, you're fine. All right. I guess I'll go back to sleep. Okay, yeah. I do trust you." The next day, we jump ahead again. I don't know.
How far?
Not a clue. Probably not too far, because Matthew McConaughey still looks like he's suffering the withdrawals from bath salts. Not as bad. He's definitely in rehab, but it's still there. Like, he definitely relapsed recently.
I don't know. I think, though, it's long enough where Rolf and Carol have somewhat developed enough feelings for each other.
But that's the problem. That could have been a fucking day. Like, there's no indication of time. This all could have happened. He could have went, I think we should separate, and then 4 days later, they fuck. Like, I don't know how long the time span is. Yeah, so like we said, the next day, I'm going to assume the next day, I have no idea when, Steven shows up, and Ralph, for some reason, walks away. He goes, says hi to the baby. Carol's like, how you doing? He's like, I love you. And she's like, no, but you have to love the baby. You know, you need to show the baby that you love him. And she says, you don't have a lot to offer right now. And although I thought he was in a walking coma, now he's in a double walking coma, because he dies again after that sentence.
Yes, because I feel like he shows up and he's like, look, I get I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's like, so...
I'm
trying. And she's like, no, you're not.
No, you have to have already tried and successfully now loved. It's not...
Yeah, she's like, no, it's too late. And
That's she says. She says, you can't be uncertain with your child.
Yeah.
You have to... I guess, I don't know why. I don't really know how her parents were. They don't seem to approve her anything she does.
No.
So clearly she's got a truckload of emotional problems. Doesn't have a lot to offer. She's not angry and she doesn't hate him, which means obviously she has no emotion for him. So he's dead to her.
Yep.
He's too self-involved to be around his own kid right now, and this is what she thinks is best. Rolf comes back and he's like, you're still my brother, man. Are you mad at me? And he's like, I'm not mad at you. Goodbye, Vincent. Rolf, love my son. And he says, I'll do the best I can. And he leaves, which, I mean, he left forever.
Yeah.
Obviously. The way that scene went, he definitely left forever.
Killed himself?
And maybe, I don't see why. There's no reason to. I mean, if you're just going to abandon the family, why just go
no, he's just going to go randomly pregnate women again without telling them that he's a midget. Because they don't need to know, because that's not how relationships work.
None of their business yet. We're not having kids, none of your business.
Exactly.
We can get engaged and get married, but you can't meet my family.
No.
Correct.
No, I don't like them, you don't like them.
I'll let you them once a year. That's it.
That's it. We're very cordial, and that is it. That's
Oh,
the closest we get. We're cordial.
Is it like a family thing you see him at, or is it like, what kind of...
I gotta go. I gotta go in the dead of night. So yeah, like literally last scene. At that night, Rolf knocks on the door and he's like, "You still up?" I don't know why. Matthew McConaughey. It was daytime, nighttime, like midnight. She goes, "I don't know. I'm still shooken up. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep anytime soon." Like, there had to have been a scene after Matthew McConaughey left. A bear attacked the cabin. Like, there's no way she was still shooken up over him.
I think she was just saying it just to be like...
Yeah, she's clearly, she's like... Because she's seriously like, oh, man, I just can't sleep, and this bed is so... there's such a big empty spot next to me.
Ralph is like, oh, come outside then. He starts a fire, they look at the stars, and she's like, you can kiss me if you want. And they kiss, and the movie ends.
That's
it. Fucking ends.
The end.
So fucking
What?
odd.
Where's the rest of this movie?
Now, question. Now, is she emotionally interested in Rolf?
Oh God, no.
Or
it's all like financial.
It's yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
I don't know.
It's all.
I don't know, because after Matthew McConaughey leaves, they kind of hold each other's hands. So maybe she is invested emotionally.
But
There's
is it Ralph is like, oh, I feel emotions for her and blah blah blah.
She doesn't show any of it.
And she's like, this motherfucker is paying for this baby and me. I ain't working for shit.
He genuinely loves the kid.
Yeah.
He has money to take care of her.
Yeah.
She figures, why not?
Yeah. Right?
That's all it is.
That's how I saw it.
That's what it
I
was.
didn't see it as like, oh, they're in love now and like they're gonna be a couple. Cause like that's fucking weird enough. But I saw it as like, oh, like, cause it's already established that Ralph is fucked up and like just doesn't get that he's being used by women and has no problem being used by a woman and fucking going back. And now Carol sees this and is like, gotcha, bitch.
Maybe.
Bet she never fucks him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she's got to put out at least once or twice. She's living there. She's got to earn her keep somewhere.
I think if what we just said is true, she's gotta. Otherwise, he's gonna go back to Sally at some point.
I don't know.
All she wants is somebody to love the kid. He does that.
That's true. Yeah, and it's established she has no problem sucking dick.
Exactly.
She has no problem using dick sucking as leverage.
I don't know. I'm just picturing like her holding up a wall while sucking a dick now. Like, I don't know. If I suck this wall's dick, that'll keep it up because I have leverage on the. I don't know. That's what you said. That's what I thought of. I don't know. Yeah, that kiss is just how she's paying him back.
Yeah,
like, that's literally it. The fuck is this film? The fuck did you guys
I
think
don't know.
of this wacky film?
It was fucking bananas.
No,
It was terrible.
It was
Yes.
insane. It was pure insanity. I don't get. First off, every relationship in this film is fucked up.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I mean, I'm kind of leaning into this a little hard, but technically, the Dwarf parents, they also have a not too kosher relationship because Matthew McConaughey was 33 when this movie came out, and they were celebrating 30 years of marriage.
Oh!
So, also, Gary Oldman was like 50-something when his movie came out. No, he was like in his 40s. But yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, like, they seem to have, like, that alone, 30 years of marriage, there's probably a lot of, like, pressure on both of those guys to get married, to live up to that. Like, well, look, I found your mother, and it wasn't easy the way you did it. And it's like, well, how come you just keep, how come you two keep banging hookers? Why do you keep banging whores?
Whores.
Because they're just so easy.
Yeah.
You just gotta give them money.
Ugh. I wanted to point out that because this film takes place almost entirely over the course of Carol's pregnancy, Rolf was cheated on 3 times by Sally. Sally, yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh man. Ugh.
Poor dumb bastard.
I know. I have a lot written here, but I don't even know where to start. I don't know. I think I just went off on a huge tangent. I said, apparently I use this movie to straight up mock Carol because, I mean, 100% I'm behind Matthew McConaughey kind of because every single thing he was like, listen, if we have a kid, it's going to become fucked up and have a horrible life and things aren't going to all of that happened. Every single thing happened.
Yeah.
So, he's not reacting in the best way, but he's really acting
It's
justifiably.
Like, it's like if you had a fucking fear of something happening your entire adult life, and someone was like, no, blah, 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 it's okay, it's not gonna happen, and you're like, alright, and then it fucking happens, and you're like, oh!
I'm surprised there was never a point where Steven straight up went up to Carol and went, how could you? I trusted you. I trusted you to have a normal kid, and you didn't. Like, I'm surprised he didn't fucking snap in that way. Like, I told you this was gonna happen. I trusted you, and you fucked me over. Like, he just full ape shit. Yeah, I compared it to... because he was like, we're gonna have a fucked up kid, don't do it. I compared it to if your coworker came up to you and he was like, I got this great idea for this store. It's called the OKKK sale. We're gonna have the pointy-headed ghost of savings run around the store, and he's gonna take out the evil shade that hides things like good deals and fees.
Oh no.
Yeah, and when 30 seconds after the store opens and he's on the risk of getting fired and beaten by a mob, you don't help him fix the store. You go look for a new job. That's what Matthew McConaughey should have done. He should have went and looked for a new job.
Shouldn't have been a firefighter.
No, he should have left both his wife and his job and became a salesman at a new store somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I can say is Carol was insane.
Yeah.
That's
without
the
a
moral
doubt.
of this movie.
Yes.
Carol was insane.
And Ralph is fucking great at choosing women who will just manipulate and abuse and use him.
I'm genuinely unsure if I should feel sorry for Ralph or if Ralph's a con man.
No. I mean, I think it's... I don't know.
Like, that's not, like, no, he's definitely not. And then I present it and you go, well,
No, because at the end, he's really getting the short end of the stick.
how?
Because he's being contrary as Matthew McConaughey's.
Yeah.
Who's to say he could have had a kid? Who's to say his genes weren't messed up enough that he couldn't produce sperm? Who's to say... Who is he going to find to have a kid with him? Sally? Now he already has a kid. Plus, Matthew McConaughey is his twin. They have... I think that's how DNA works. The same DNA. Yeah. So that's basically his kid anyway.
No, that's only if it's an identical twin.
Are they, though? I don't know what type of twins.
No, they're not identical twins.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, if they were identical twins here, then they both be midgets.
Yeah, they were, or normies.
Listen, you're going to piss a lot of people off if you keep saying that. You got to say dwarf.
Little people.
There you go. That's fine, too.
Hobbits.
I don't know. I don't know every culture. That could be fine.
Ewoks.
That's horrifying. That's like calling them Nazis. All right, so would you make a sequel? Fucking...
Why
The
would they
first
need to
one
be?
didn't get finished. How are you going to make a second one?
Well, actually, apparently, this movie was originally 2 hours and 30 minutes long.
Yeah, I got some of that in Why Would You Make This
Yeah.
in the second half. But first we're going to go for, what's it called? I forgot. Oh, Opinions and Assholes. I was looking at the paper, too. Forgot how to read. This one is called it's called Refreshing by Enjoying Life. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I had picked it up because I saw Oldman's name. Was that really him? He looked so realistically dwarf-like. How did they do that? But wasn't sure just what to expect. Somehow the cast came together to deliver superb performances all around, yet with that hard-to-reach restraint that adds such realism. The respect and sensitivity displayed between the characters was refreshing. I think, though, that you have to be prepared to watch it with a sense of half fantasy, half archetype. Sit back and enjoy the costumes and get over the literal hang-ups. The same as you might have done with Edward Scissorhands. If you can't do that, you won't be happy. Personally, I give everyone in the cast my full kudos. 4 out of 5 stars. Does she think that dwarfs or little people are
Imaginary. They're not
real, right?
No. Yeah, that's an
They
asshole,
think they
right?
are as real as a boy, I think made of clay, that has knives for fingers. Or actually, I should say knives. The halves of scissors for fingers. I think he was made of clay. Was he made of clay?
I don't know what he was made of.
I thought he was made of mannequins.
Oh, is that what I'm almost positive he wasn't human.
No,
Like,
he
was
wasn't.
made
He
of
was like
something.
a robot or something.
No, I think he was made of like clay or mannequins or something like
Yeah,
that.
like
'Cause I remember
mannequin
his father
pieces,
was
yeah.
like a sculptor and he had the scissor hands and he couldn't sculpt, but then he
Right.
could cut the bushes. Oh, it's a different type of art.
Yeah, he killed his father trying to hug him.
Yes. That was horrifying. All right, so I don't even know.
I went with asshole.
Why don't
Yeah, I'm gonna
asshole?
go with
yeah, that's
asshole.
fine. Just a
They don't believe in little people.
yeah, that's you fucking asshole. That's right. I forgot about that. Fucking asshole. This next one is called "What Is Wrong with You, People?" by Lyrie. L-Y-E-R... Leary? L-Y-E-R-I. Lyrie. Whatever. I have to say, I loved this movie. It was very refreshing. I am someone who has spent 15 years working with children with special needs and have seen this problem regarding acceptance of the situation, having an atypical child, especially from fathers, which was accurately depicted in the movie. I enjoyed seeing the culture of little people as a minority group in our oh-so-obsessed-with-our-look society. Yes, the characters were somewhat oversimplified in some instances, but it didn't take away from the charm of this nice little movie. I feel that the actors made the best out of their roles, especially Gary Oldman. Oh man, I would highly recommend this movie to anyone looking for something different from the usual mainstream movies. 5 out of 5 stars.
Asshole.
Yeah, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anybody... Look, listen, I understand this movie because I've been working with children with special needs for 15 years, and I'm glad it gives us insight into little people culture. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, smug dick.
Yeah.
Smug dick, yeah.
And what special need people are you helping if they're midgets, apparently? Or little people?
It's dwarf. Stop pissing off so many people, Danny. It's little people or dwarf. Just watch the whole film about it. How do you not...
Listen, I need Matthew McConaughey to yell at me first.
Listen, if that happens, it doesn't matter because apparently you just switch gears mid-argument. And you go,
Exactly.
Listen, dwarfs are people too.
And then at the end, you gotta suck Gary Oldman's dick.
That happened. Don't act like it didn't. This next one is called Interesting by Kate42.
Was it?
I saw that most people thought that this movie was disappointing, but I didn't. I thought that it was interesting and fun. The lives of little people are as interesting as average-sized people, and that's what I liked. The interweaving of the two different ways of lives. I thought the acting was well done, and the ending was very close to real-life outcomes. It did have a happy ending, but not like most would want and expect. I loved it, and play it over and over. 5 out of 5 stars.
Besides this movie... Does she think little people don't live normal lives?
No. All I can think right now is back to a Daffy Duck cartoon where he had a dream where he was the MC to a convention full of a bunch of monsters, and he just kept singing the song, "Monsters have such interesting lives."
All right.
So that's, in her mind, that's what she's doing.
I just
Little
assume
people have
she was like, oh, little people, they all live in the circus and, pile up in clown cars, right?
Yeah, in her mind, little people are just Danny DeVito. That's it. They're all Danny DeVito.
They'll star in these movies where, there's one normal-sized brother and one little tiny brother.
Or he runs a circus, and he also turns into a werewolf.
Yeah.
That's Big Fish.
I know.
Okay. All right, this next one.
Wait, we didn't...
Oh, we didn't? Oh, well, I give it, who cares?
Okay. WC.
Who cares? I don't really, you're so off, I don't even care about you as a person.
What? I'm fucking reading ahead. What?
I know. This next one is called Pure Magic by Alan Smythe.
I love it already.
Matthew McConaughey plays Tipper Tip Lexington, famed football star who receives a career-ending concussion which gives him the ability to commune with mythical beings. When the Mischief Fairy, Patricia Arquette, teaches Tip not to be so straight-laced and gets him to become an art thief, French artist Albatross Ali Rouillet, Kate Beckinsale, has a mythical being of her own, a giant gnome that plays his flute walking cane. And they won't allow her art to be stolen so easily. This one-off chance happens again and again in this mystical will they, won't they, filled with love and lore galore. What? Special appearance by Fairy King Peter Dinklage. 3.5 out of 5 stars.
What the fuck?
Bath salts?
Bath salts! Hey, bath salts! Withdraw is hard. Okay, so, why? Why would you make this film?
I mean, Oscar bait, but they fucked it up.
What Oscar bait is there?
Well, no, I mean, when you do, oh god, we're fucking looking at people with disabilities and life is hard, isn't it? It's like that. You're going, oh my god, I Am Sam, fucking what's his face? Sean Penn is retarded and he's got a kid and he's got to care for the kid and
I don't care. I've never seen I Am Sam, so every time I hear it, I think it's the movie Summer of Sam. And that, I don't know why people keep talking, he was in I Am Sam. So he's a murderer. Who cares? What's it about?
He portrayed murderers unfairly.
All right, so the only thing I could find about this film was that the original director was fired and the movie was re-edited to what we saw today.
Yeah, apparently he was like, so, that was my cut of the movie. What'd you guys think?
And they all vomited. Fired him, recut it, and everyone was like, why did you change it? It was gold. I don't know. What'd you say, Danny? It was 2.5 hours originally?
Yeah.
Do you remember what this one was?
Hour and a half.
Hour and
Hour and
a
a
half.
half.
Jesus.
They cut an hour.
That explains so much.
Yeah, no, that explains.
There had to have been.
That explains all the time jumps.
No,
It literally.
yeah. There had to have been scenes where Matthew McConaughey had a full breakdown and just was openly like, I hate that or had some sort of survivor's guilt or something.
Yeah.
There should have been more dialogue when Steven and Carol fought. There should have been more like they just jumped like. There were sections of the conversation where you're like, okay, I see what you're going to talk about now. And they just skip, go, well, you know what we're going to talk about. Let's skip ahead to the next part after that.
I bet it didn't end the same way. I bet it didn't end with that kiss and fade to
Probably
black.
not, because they said that after the director got fired, when the studio came in to edit it, they re-edited it as a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
I don't remember laughing.
Me either.
Oh. Yeah, not even a little bit. Well, here's what I could find, which was during an interview with New York Times, Peter Dinklage said, why would you put Gary Oldman on his knees? That's almost like blackface. And I have my own opinions about political correctness, but I was just like, it's Gary Oldman. He can do whatever he wants, and I'm so happy to be here. So that's how Gary Oldman got away with that.
Yeah.
'Cause even if Peter Dinklage was like, yeah, but he's fucking Gary. Like,
He's Gary Oldman,
Yeah.
and I'm getting a paycheck.
it's like if Chris Walken showed up in blackface, you'd go, what crazy thing is Chris Walken going to do today? Like, you wouldn't be immediately angry. You'd
To
go,
be fair,
let's see where this is going, guys.
To be fair, like 2008, Robert Downey Jr. straight up did blackface in a movie. Yeah. And like there are people who were like, he's doing blackface, but he's like, yeah, but it's fucking Robert Downey Jr. It's funny.
I mean, first off, technically he didn't do blackface. He got pigmentation surgery
That's true.
in the film. According to the film, it made sense.
Horrible.
He continued with the original film. It was a lovely mess of a movie while we were making it. I saw the director's cut and it was gorgeous. That's, as you said, the 2.5 hour director's cut was shown at a film festival in Austin, Texas, and the director, Matthew Bright, was fired for some reason after that. They just didn't like it, I don't know. And the movie was recut. The people who fired him ruined the movie, that's what he said, Peter Dinklage. They made it into a weird little quirky rom-com, but with dwarfs. It says, he looked gloomy as he recalled this. It was sort of an amazing idea for a movie, but the result was what we were fighting against, the cuteness of little people. Just something interesting I wanted to talk about. The interviewer then asked him if he ever hoped at any time to be a spokesman for the rights of little people. And apparently he made an exasperated sound and held his hands out, palms up. I don't know what I would say. It would be arrogant to assume that he put his hands on the table. Everyone's different. Every person my size has a different life, different history, different ways of dealing with it. Just because I'm seemingly okay with it, I can't preach how to be okay with it. I don't think I am still okay with it. There are days when I'm not. So I'm pretty sure he just,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's great to be like, no, it's okay. It's great being little, but I get
not the case.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't fucking ride a roller coaster and
That's not his biggest concern.
Nah, it's
I'm
right
sure
there.
it's the blue. What?
Everyone thinks you're a little kid when you walk in and wants to sell you something from the kids menu.
Pedophiles will not leave you alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so please join us for our next film. It's the 1991 musical romance, Cool as Ice, starring Vanilla Ice and Kristen Minter. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be fun.
I'm sure it'll be great.
Maybe.
I cannot wait.
Okay, so go to www.ymt.com to keep up with everything Why Would You Make This, and you download or listen to episodes for absolutely free on your computer. If that, for whatever reason, sounds too complicated, you can always go to iTunes, podcasts, whatever you do to listen to podcasts, and you can download us there by searching Why Would You Make This? With a question mark at the end. VictoryProWrestling.com. What's the deal, son?
So March 5th is the 10-year anniversary show. Yeah.
Wasn't the last one a 10-year?
No, it was not a year.
Oh, I forget. They advertised the next one with the last one, so I always think that the last one is the next one.
Right. So, Victory Pro Wrestling returns March 5th, Center Reach, Long Island, New York. Yeah, King of New York, that's me, Jay Delta, versus the current VPW champion, Kai Katana.
All right, you're going for it.
Yeah, I'm going for the championship. Crown versus title match.
Really? He's got what? You putting the crown up?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna win.
fuck?
I'm gonna win that.
What the fuck? Why the monarchy should not be contested this way?
Look, end of the day, even if by some miraculous miracle Kai Katana did beat me, I won the tournament. I am the rightful king.
Look, he just it's pittance.
Yeah.
It's garbage. Yeah, no. All right, so yeah, once again, that's victoryprowrestling.com. The Troy McClure clip comes from Lisa the Simpson, the 17th episode of the 19th season of the ongoing animated television series The Simpsons. Feel free to send us your own Troy McClure quotes, whatever you want. Could be just one idea, one movie, doesn't have to be a full sentence, just whatever you got. Interact with us, please. We're so lonely. You can do that on Facebook or Tumblr or whywouldyoumakethis.com, whatever you feel comfortable with. The intro music is Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. I don't know. I got nothing.
To take us out?
Yeah.
How about,
Who am I kidding?
Hi Ho.
What?
From fucking Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
No.
The Gremlins version.
No.
Where the Gremlins sing Hi Ho.
No, I know what I'm going to put in here. Short People by Randy Newman.
Oh, no.
That's good.
Yeah, that works.
So for Danny Money and Jay Delta, I am Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we would be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.